What's going on, guys? It's Anthony, Wrenched Out Garage. One of my favorite things to do here on the Wrenched Out Garage is to read your comments, obviously in person once they come in, but I also like doing videos on them so I can give you a better response. So today we got a handful. I'm gonna try to keep the video quasi short. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and then maybe I'll start doing this on a regular basis. We're gonna start off today's video with a comment from Robert Brown Jr., who's talking about the Polaris RZR 4-point harness. Did you use an aftermarket harness bar behind the front seats? And he's referring to the 2019 Polaris RZR 1000 XP that we have. No, that's the stock bar. I think I listed that on there. However, one thing I will say about that harness is it does ride on that bar, which means it can slide back and forth. Granted, they're pretty tight. And then when you strap them in, there's obviously tension pulling on those straps. But I definitely see the point on why guys install the seat adapter, which essentially you cut out a hole in your seat and then you put a plate through it, it goes through, and then the harness goes through that. I definitely see that because as I've used it several times now, those kind of shift back and forth, and that will kind of keep it straight on you and on the post or the bar. So next one I want to talk about is Brandon Pillsbury. This guy dropped a lot of comments. So again, everybody that I'm going to talk about today, thank you guys for dropping comments. It allows me to do this, but also allows me to discuss some of the things that we're talking about here. Brandon dropped a comment on the new Silverado breakdown video that I did, talking predominantly about Silverado and Chevy's 2021 lineup and are they doing anything, are they not? And we talk about several things. Check that video out if you want all the details. His comment says, what was Chevy smoking when they decided to put a 4-cylinder in a half-ton truck? Question mark. The little engine is going to be straining the whole time. The turbo probably won't last long. I agree on the V6, V8, and the diesel, but I'm against the 4-cylinder. And then he makes a comment in regards to the interior on how he has a 14, his buddy has an 18, and how they're ridiculously similar. Now in that video, I talked about the interior and I guess my dislike for it and how I've been unsatisfied with Chevy's approach. I feel like Chevy is way past due with interiors, and as Brandon said, it's, you know, a known thing and they don't need to be. I think it's just a poor approach, or are the engineers and designers lazy, or what is the problem? They need to update the interior for one. As far as the 2.7 liter turbo goes, I'm not sure. I think they were trying to copy Ford. I think they need to drop that motor, focus on the diesel, 5.3 and 6.2, and the V6. The 4.3 is fine as well, but I really think they need to up the horsepower and torque in the 5.3 to hit that 375 to 390 on the horse, and juice up the 6.2 to get that 450 to 470, maybe even 495 or something on the 6.2. It's time to up it. And with both of those motors, I'm sure that it's fairly simple to accomplish that, which would allow them to compete, the 5.3 compete with the 5.7 liter Hemi motor, at least across the board, and allow that 6.2 liter to currently compete as far as paper goes with 3.5 liter twin turbo offered by Ford. Obviously no turbos on the 6.2, but we're not gonna get into that today. That's my thoughts. Thank you for commenting, Brandon. In fact, Brandon and I went back and forth on several items, so I gotta scroll through that. The next comment that I want to talk about is in regards to the Bill Sign 6112 and the 5140 or 5160 shocks and kit that I installed on my truck. LB writes, do the 6112s add an additional 2 inches on top of the 2020 Trail Boss LT, which is already 2 inches higher than stock? I'm looking to get an additional 2 inches on the front of my Trail Boss so you can clear the 20 by 9.5 -12 Black Rhino wheels. That's a great question. I'm not overly familiar with that truck. My neighbor's got one. I got to check it out right when he got it. I believe that Chevy is just doing the pucks up on top. And if they are, more than likely, the problem that you're probably going to run into, and to be clear, the 186112s from Bilstein says they raise 1.85 inches in the front. So if you consider that, you're going to be maxing out the load capability of the front of your Trail Boss. So I would be quasi hesitant before I do that, or consider the possibility of having to just go with the Bilstein as opposed to whatever that lift is that they put on there, as far as the factory goes, and then maybe looking at, I don't, you know, like an inch or two, because I just don't know if that's going to accomplish it without, you know, sway link extenders or needing anything other than just those two components in there. Do your due diligence. Look at some of the other lift kits that are out there that are the 4-inch, and it'll show you the parts listing. And if the parts listing matches up, you're good to go. Let's see, let's keep going. Try to keep it all positive in today's comment reading video. Donald Thomas writes in regards to, is the Raptor still king video, which is where I compare the Raptor statistics off the Ford website to what we already know about the Ram TRX, the GMC Hummer, and much more. I also made a comment in there stating that they needed to upgrade, do some subtle upgrades to the exterior, and of course beef up that motor. Donald writes, be careful changing the front end. It's still the best looking truck at least. The new alleged Raptor truly resembles a GMC front end, and I can't agree more. I've seen some of the concept stuff, nothing final, and it does look like a new GMC. If you want to make changes, keep the body basically the same and change the motor, everyone is happy. And I agree. I mean, I just think that there needs to be some subtle cues to enhance and upgrade the exterior. I think they need to go to a really cool hood scoop, maybe refine some of the lighting, some of the paneling, and then they have to up the horsepower and torque on that 3.5 liter, because they're not going to compete with the TRX with a 200 plus horsepower gap between the two. It just isn't, or 300 horsepower gap between the two. It's just not gonna happen. All right, let's see. Yeet writes in regards to the battery charger Craftsman edition garage talk I did. So in that video, I talked about my experience and what I have as far as the Craftsman like multi battery verse that they have. This all other power tools currently are running off of the similar batteries and everything else, but they've got a wide assortment, and I still love it to this day. But he writes, Lowe's has a buy 4 amp and charger and get a free tool. So I think I'm going to do the radio. Thanks. I love the radio, man. Doing projects outside, doing projects inside, super easy. Slap the battery in that you've already got, go to town, and you're off to business. So yeah, love it. I think the final one I'll do today is Joe's channel writes, can you give me a link to where you bought it? He's referring to the front front polyurethane windshield I bought from Polaris. I did link it below, and if you guys got questions on this stuff or want me to link certain products, let me know. I'll try to link it down below as I can find some of this stuff. If it's not from like Amazon. Amazon's the easiest for me, and it supports the channel. So if you guys do see Amazon links in the channel, or you want me to put Amazon links in there, please let me know. Drop a comment, because it does benefit the channel. I get a very small piece, but nonetheless, I get a tiny piece, and it goes back right into the garage. That's how I've been able to buy some of the stuff that you've seen. I'll do a video on that, you know, at a later date. But let's wrap up the comment videos today. Right now, if you guys like this type of video, drop a comment down below. Say, hey, let's do more of these. I'd like to start doing these at least once a month, because A, I enjoy them. I like talking to you guys about your questions as opposed to the good old writing them out. It's just enjoyable. So that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in. As always, make sure and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you're out riding or driving, do it safely, and I'll see you in the next video.